I'm gonna regret this, Brandon.
Energy security's on thin ice. Overburdened grid, rising costs, severe weather. Propane's affordable, abundant, and safe. That's your power play.
If I were him, I'd bundle my home and auto and pick up the real victory, savings.
Hello everyone, this is your Daily Dose of Science. Sailors can use the direction of the wind and changes in air pressure to figure out where a storm may be.
We can use what's called bi-ballast law. If I stand facing the wind and I put out my right arm, the northern hemisphere, move that arm back about 15 degrees, that is where the center of the low pressure system is going to be. That is where the center of the storm is going to be.
Two warning signs that a storm could be approaching are a change in wind direction and a drop in barometric pressure.
After we've seen those two warning signs, we have to decide if we're on the safe or the dangerous side of that system. In the northern hemisphere, low pressure systems, storms, rotate anti-clockwise. That means on the eastern side of that storm, the wind will be blowing north. On the western side, the wind is blowing south in two opposite ways. So on the side of the storm where the wind direction and the whole system's movement are going the same way, that wind strength is amplified, and that storm is going to be a lot stronger in this half. Now, conversely, same thing goes for the other side, where the wind direction and the movement of the storm system itself are opposite. It starts to cancel each other out. And so that is called the safe side of the storm, and that's where we're going to aim to as sailors.
In 2017, researchers attached cameras to the fins of whale sharks to learn more about their feeding behavior, and they discovered several techniques that had never been documented before. The study identified 36 distinct behaviors, 6 of which were completely new to science. These included gliding slow feeding, where the shark sinks passively with its mouth open, and dive feeding, where it actively swims straight down toward the sea floor. The findings described whale sharks as serial snackers, feeding on large amounts of small prey across all ocean depths. Whale sharks are the largest fish species on Earth. Until this research, much of how they actually feed day to day was largely unknown.
Potentially super cooled water part 2. Yes!
This is the fire snake experiment, also known as the black snake or Pharaoh's serpent. It works by mixing baking soda and sugar together and heating them in a bed of sand soaked in fuel. As the mixture burns, the baking soda breaks down and releases carbon dioxide gas. That gas gets trapped in the burning sugar, which is caramelizing and hardening at the same time. The pressure of the expanding gas forces the carbon-rich material upward, producing the snake-like structure you can see emerging from the sand. The black color comes from the carbon left behind after the sugar burns. Back in 2022, astronomers converted X-ray data from a black hole 7,800 light-years away into sound. This guy visited the world's largest autonomous laboratory.
Nebula is the world's largest autonomous lab filled with robots. When you walk into the lab, the first thing you see is a track connecting different robots with different functions together.
So we can send a sample from this device all the way to the other end of the room. Okay, but I do have robots that basically move liquids, and then I have every analytical device under the sun. So depending on what your protocol required, we'd be able to do. Your protocol might be the green one.
Yeah.
And my protocol might be the pink one.
Oh,
And
okay.
Each row on here is a different device on the system.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you submit your job in, yours has to get fit in where there's empty spots.
This is sodium acetate trihydrate, also known as hot ice. It starts as a solid, gets melted into a liquid, and is then chilled back down below its melting point without actually solidifying. This is called supercooling, and it leaves the liquid in an unstable state, waiting for something to trigger crystallization. Watch what happens when a hand coated in sodium acetate crystals comes into contact with the liquid. The crystals on the hand act as a trigger for the liquid to solidify almost instantly. Despite looking like ice, it is not cold. The crystallization process actually releases heat, which is why it is called hot ice. The material stays warm and soft enough to pull the hand back out cleanly.
Tonight there's something very cool in the sky. It's this bright light there. Let me show you. So it's that bright light right there. Can you see? That's where we're going to look through here. Now I'm going to put the phone on this. Okay, I shouldn't zoom. Okay, that's it. It's Venus. Can you see it? Wow. Okay, that's Venus. I think. Let me check. Yeah, that's Venus.
This time-lapse zooms deep into the surface of the sun, where several enormous solar flares can be seen erupting. But what makes this footage even more interesting is that you can actually hear them too. The flashes are captured using a solar telescope, while a radio receiver detects radio waves produced by the same solar activity and converts them into sound. Astronauts on the International Space Station are helping scientists research Parkinson's disease. Here, astronaut Alexander Gerst is examining crystals of a protein called LRRK2, which is linked to Parkinson's. Growing these crystals in microgravity can allow scientists to study their structure in greater detail, potentially helping researchers develop new treatments.
And what we discovered was that here in the microgravity environment, these crystals really like to grow. So if scientists can better elucidate or clarify the structure, then they're better able to develop an inhibitor drug for Parkinson's. And not only an inhibitor drug, but an inhibitor drug with very few side effects.
A lot of people wonder where birds go at night, and one of the main places they hide out is trees. So I'm going to take my thermal camera, we're going to look up this tree and see if we can see some birds roosting.
One of my subscribers sent me this video of a strange bubble effect she kept creating while washing up. This is called a water bell and happens when a stream of water hits a curved surface and spreads out into a very thin sheet. Surface tension holds the water together while its momentum carries it outwards, creating this bubble-like shape.
So there's a fun thing you do on a radio during a storm. Due to how lightning works, which is basically a bunch of water molecules in the air bumping into each other so much that it generates an electrical difference, what happens is that eventually the lightning takes the path of least resistance because it generates an electric potential so large, and it ionizes a bunch of the atmosphere. You can actually hear lightning strike on the radio. If you go into an empty AM channel and just listen. As you can see there.
Hi everyone, I just made this Tesla coil. Now I built it with this transistor, this tip 41C, a long secondary, some 3 turns of primary, a top load, a 9-volt battery, this LED, and yeah, that's all. It works using induction and ionization, so when it's on, this tube will actually light up. So you take this spark generator, and this LED's on. And this LED tells you that the coil is on. If I take a tube and bring it close, it lights up.
In November 2023, after 1,000 Martian days of exploration, NASA's Perseverance rover captured this panorama from a location called Airy Hill inside the Jezero crater. The image is made up of 993 individual photos stitched together to form a 2.38 billion pixel, 360-degree view. The colors have been enhanced to approximate what the scene would look like under Earth-like lighting, making it easier for scientists to read the landscape. The Jezero crater is believed to be an ancient river delta, billions of years old. Perseverance is studying the rocks here for signs that microbial life may once have existed on Mars.
The oldest color ever found on Earth isn't blue or green or brown. It's pink, and it's over 1 billion years old. Scientists crushed open ancient rocks from Africa and found perfectly preserved pink pigments inside, the remnants of tiny microbes that ruled Earth's oceans long before animals existed. But here's the twist that
Mr. Andrew. Good evening, buddy. Right.
Cupcake. Serious wine on serious name.
What if I don't like my therapist?
You'll find one you do.
I can't deal with insurance.
From a high-speed duel in Arkansas that barreled towards state lines, and a suspect in Florida who thought he could outrun highway patrol, to a late-night chase in Georgia that put hundreds of lives at risk, and so much more. These are the craziest police chases over 130 miles per hour.
Craziest.
Westbound right there.
It was December 14th of 2022. A highway patrol officer in Tallahassee, Florida, was watching traffic when he attempted to stop a black passenger car. Another officer pulled in behind him, while a third pulled further ahead. Based on that alone, we can assume the cops were looking for this car and expected the suspects to run.
Survive? Doesn't matter. Here for whatever, buddy.
Speeds climbed well over 130 miles per hour as the suspect approached a blind hill. Willing to risk it all, they veered into the oncoming lane and screamed by a logging truck. Thankfully, nobody was coming in the other direction. The high-risk move allowed the suspects to pull away from police. From there, they continued at blistering speeds towards the Route 90 junction.
We're going westbound 90, westbound 90.
It was only a matter of time before this madman hurt somebody. At the same time, officers couldn't risk pit maneuvering him into oncoming traffic. They needed to wait for a window. Thankfully, one was about to open.
Alright, get mentally at a state westbound 19.
Nice.
Well, you got to do that. You don't have to. That's the car. I am, sir. I'm saying. You all right? Hey, you good? Okay. Just get confirmation now. We had a successful pin with two subjects.
On fire.
You got it, Jess? Out. Out. 1182, guys, we'll fire, please. Out. Under the hood? Yeah, I think it was just the grass. We're good. Everybody good? Good. Everybody's good, right? Yeah. Everybody's good.
Turn your legs in, dummy.
Jess?
Keep going. Under your feet.
Right here, you can see an officer pull something from one of the men's pockets and toss it aside. It's unclear if it was trash or evidence. Ultimately, 2 male suspects were arrested on the scene, though it's unclear what they were charged with or if the police found anything illegal in the car or on their person. ASP Trooper Jacob Price was watching traffic on the side of I-40 near White Oak when he spotted a black Cadillac approaching from behind at a high rate of speed. His rear radar clocked the caddy doing 109 in the 65-mile-per-hour zone. The driver tried slowing down as he passed Trooper Price, but by then, it was too late. Price pulled onto the highway, at which point the caddy changed lanes and began accelerating away from him. He knew the driver was trying to run, but few people ever